passed down to them from their families. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for allowing me to be here and speak. To the elders, I apologize for being up.
Ina waiki earn zamaka achiape na atewaiki Nate Janice achiape na ha ina at kuku na hunkuku ke pancha na ha erlin zamaka ewe chakape na ha ate at kuku na hunkuku ke Roger Whipple na ha Evangeline Janice ewe chakape wakaya jaki tokech ji washi chamu cha wa ali wanshi wa usbe wi cha wakia site Glashka University akta awa blawa cha sinte Miss Sinte Glashka University Himacha. Naha Ilha Chante Oste na Pechuza Pixto. Hello, my relatives. My name is Rachel Janice. My Lakota name is Dancing Eagle Woman. I live in Antelope, but I'm from the Eagle Nest District on the Pine Ridge Reservation. And I am an immersion school teacher at the immersion school that we have here on Rosewood. I'm a first grade teacher, and I am Miss SGU. All right. And I greet you all with a good heart and warm handshake. So I want to welcome everyone, especially our youth, to the historic 150th anniversary of the Battle of Little Bighorn. This meeting wouldn't have been possible without the collaborations of Tokala Nagio Youth Leadership Program, the Sichanga Youth Council, and Sichanga Learning and Development, and even St. Francis Indian School for opening up their facility to host this amazing event. So when we talk about the past, whether it's to talk about the victories or to remember the hard times, we also have to talk about the future. And that starts with the youth that carries the future forward. And so it makes me really happy to see this happen. When I was in middle school, I joined Tokala and Nagio as a peer mentor, and I got to attend cultural trainings, organize awareness walks, attend language courses, and travel with peers my age. I got to experience my very first inipi, and I got to learn how to make a ribbon skirt through this program. And for a moment, I almost forgot that I was directed to this program by a counselor because of suicide ideations. And that's when it hit me. When you create a space for youth to learn, to experience, and to be a part of something, it helps them form a sense of belonging, and it helps them feel understood. And in 2015, I joined the Sichanga Youth Council when it was reestablished. In that same year, we learned about Indian boarding schools and the impacts of historical or intergenerational trauma within our own communities and families. We did extensive research on how trauma can change our DNA, but within our discovery, we learned just how resilient our people are. Our ancestors fought hard for the land, for the language, and for our way of life so that we can be here. We are that living prayer of our ancestors, but it's up to us if we're going to continue that fight for the next generation. In 2015, the Sichanga Youth Council, we went to Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And for those who don't know, Carlisle, Pennsylvania was the first established boarding school, Indian boarding school. And we got to experience what the Carlisle barracks looked like. We got to tour the cemetery. And it was within that experience that we came home and we told tribal council what we wanted to see happen. And that was to fight for our ancestors, to fight for the youth that were taken away from their families and taken away from their land, stripped from their culture and their language. And in 2021, we got to see them come home. But that was all because we were part of a youth program, and this youth program really believed in the youth, Rosebud youth, and helped us form our voice, amplify our voices. And now that in 2022, I got the opportunity to apply as a paraprofessional at the Lakota Immersion School here, and I get to honor that inner child that never got to learn the language. But today we come together to not only revisit a moment in history, but we're here to honor our ancestors that fought hard to protect our way of life, like I've said earlier, but also to recognize and acknowledge that this fight continues even today. And it starts with every single youth in this building, every single youth that are currently in the classrooms right now, and even when you think your voice doesn't matter, it does. And as a former Sichanga Youth Council member, that is my testimony that our voice really matters. Does it matter? Leadership has no age and no limit. So I hope that we have a good morning and we learn a lot, and Pilamaya Wopila Tranka Miglushta. Hi, I'm back. Hey. All right, so we're going on. I'm going to introduce our drum group here. We brought the Wakayajaki Tokiachji drum group, Wa'ali Yamani, na Wa'ali Dopa, na Wa'ali Zapta. And before they get to sing, I actually want to ask if they want to come up here and do a prayer. On Petiohila, we always do a morning prayer before we start school, before we start classes. So, wana. Wana hilpe me. If we could stand in the front. Oh. So now we're going to go into the drum group. Okay, now they're going to go into the setting it up. Oha, so I'm gonna have all of the Wakayaja come up here and they're gonna introduce themselves one by one. So wana hiupe. Wana wechiha najipe. Cha kokahe. Kokshila.
Idakiapi Carson and Makiapi Wani Uma Pukchamna na ni gesta awati na wakanja kit kekti awablawa.
Hamidakiapi Risa Machiapi Wani Tuma Pukchamna ni Kesava awati wakanja kita kekti awablawa.
Hamadakiapi, Tokala, Machapi, Wanetu, Ma Wikjemna, Nahini, Laisala, Elwati, Nawakanja, Ki Tokakchi, Elwablawa.
Halmi Dakiapi, Thomas Machiapi, Wanietu Ma Nabchunka, Si Changu, Vidachawati, Nawakanja, Ki Tokdechi, Awablawa. Hamadakiapi, what? I don't know.
Hamadakiapi, Hahepi, Machiapi, Nawanietu, Ma Wikjemna, Nawa. Grass Mountain and Wati, Nakaja, Kita, Kiachi, Elbawa.
Hamidakiapi, Tateri Machiapi, Wanietu Ma Kewaji, Nikhasala, Ewatina, Wakaja, Ki Tokeachi, Elwablawa. Hamidakiapi, Stormia Machiapi, Wanietu Ma Shagloha, Na Nikhasala, Ewatin, Nawakaja, Ki Tokeachi, Elwablawa.
Hamidakiapi, Iushkawachiapi, Ksto, Bibi, Emara Amachiapi, Wanietu, Ma Napchunka, Nikesala, Awatin, Na Wakaja, Ki Tokiachi, Elwablawa.
Hamidakiapi, Chantena, Washtena, Bechiuzapi, Na Brukuna Machiapi, Na Wanietu Ma Akewaji, Na Silja Kirkawati, Na Wakanja Kitokachi, Elavoa. Na I'm representing Little Miss Rosewood. Hamidakiapi, Lorna Machiapi, Wanietu Ma Kewaji, Wakaija Kito Kayakti Elbawa. Hamidakiapi, Chikara Machiapi, Wanietu Ma Akewanji, Si Changu Village Awati, Wakanja Kito Kiachi Awabawa.
Hamidakiapi, Ava Machiapi, Nawanietu, Ma Shagloha, Nawakaja, Ki Tokeachi, Awablawa.
Lila Wopila Tonka to our Wakaija for coming and sharing a prayer and a song for us this morning. We'd like to give them a bundle of sage as our thank you to them. When we were planning this, we were wondering, we're like, who is going to pray for us? Who are we going to ask to pray? And typically you pick the oldest person in the room, but we thought of our young ones, and it's a youth planning meeting, so we wanted our young ones to open us up in a good way like that. So thank you guys for opening and starting our day in a good way with good energy. Hamidakiapi, Alexis Whitehat Imachapi, na Iu Hanchante Washte na Pechuzapi, na St. Francis Awati, na Ashkeguipi, Chioshpa Itamuksto. My name is Alexis Whitehat. I greet you all with a heartful handshake. I come from the St. Francis community, more specifically out west. And I come from the Ashkeguipi Chioshpe. I'm also coming to represent the Sichangu Learning and Development Department. I'm the youth internship coordinator, so I manage and run some youth internships for our kids during the summertime. It was an honor to be asked to be part of this planning committee. You know, I think our young people have a lot to say and we don't ever make spaces for them. So I'm glad today that we have young ones varying from elementary to high school. I think it's good to have all the different ages in here today. I'm here to introduce one of our spiritual leaders, Henry Quickbear Sr. He is coming to give a history overview of the Battle of Little Bighorn. He also works at Sichanguko and does a lot for not only our company, but for our communities. And yeah, he's just a really great guy. So I'm gonna have Henry come up here, introduce himself, and give us a brief overview of the Battle of the Little Bighorn. Thank you.
Haumatakepi, Wakanja, Lena Kapina. Chaje Mikaki, Henry Quickbear Sr., much up below. Na Lako Chaje Mikaki, Khatkanka, Ska Hokshila, Helako Michaje Makupi, Mahokshi Chilahan. Leon Petuan, okay, Washtea. Leon Petuan, okay. Washtea Kupicha, Daka Woglaking the Sketcha Lechuahi. Na Chante Washtea Wahinaji, na Ochicha Wachina, Lechum se Wahinaji, Woyne Hanka Hecha. La Kota Piklena, Lilan Pati Takte, Daka Woglakik the He, Lila Hani, Lila Hani Takuan Hecha. Chumpi, Kchizapi, Pejisra, Alpi, Okik Chizapi, Chahe Waglocking, Cha, Washicha, Waglocking, Cha, Wopla Chichap, Len Nakupiki. Good morning, relatives, children, grandchildren. It's an honor to be here. I was asked to come and speak a little bit about the Battle of the Little Bighorn. It's an event that 150 years is coming up since that event happened. For those of you who haven't been to the site, you know, when you get there, it's a remarkable site. You could stand on that hill where Custer's Land Stand was. You stand up there and you close your eyes and you can imagine what it was like on that day 150 years ago. A little bit of overview of the Battle of Little Bighorn. And there's a lot of stories out there. There's a lot of things that, there's even historians that told stories. They spent a lot of time talking about this Battle of the Little Bighorn and tried to get the real story. From what I hear, during that time, the Battle of Little Bighorn, if you really look at it, it was the summer solstice. And during the summer solstice, we usually, one of our sacred ceremonies is the sun dance, the Wiwangba Chipi. So from hearing all of this, you know, it was the summer solstice sun dance that was going on prior to the Battle of the Little Bighorn. The Battle of the Little Bighorn happened on June 25th, 1876. The tribes are already coming together in Montana for the regular annual gathering for the Sundance ceremony that was happening there. And one of the things you got to remember was during that time, during that battle, when that battle was there was bundles, medicine bundles. And my grandfather used to talk about Lakota, Ocheti Shakoi. We were given 7 medicine bundles. 7. And at that time, historians are coming together and figuring out that there were actually the medicine bundles there during that battle. So there's a lot of stories that come into play there. But the most important thing is we as Lakota, Ocheti Shakoi, we need to be proud of that day. Because we as Lakota people, we fight for what we believe in. And kind of going back to the Battle of the Little Bighorn, Sitting Bull received a vision during the ceremony of soldiers falling upside down into their camp, and from this he prophesies a great victory for our people. The death of Custer and his troops became a rallying point for the United States to increase their efforts to force Native peoples onto reservation lands. The year before, in 1875, it was when the U.S. Army began invading the Black Hills because of the discovery of gold. This led to the rising tensions between the United States and the Lakota. I'm kind of reading off of this, and this is all good information, and I'm going to go into a little bit of what I know and what I've heard. Before the Little Bighorn, there was another battle that hasn't been spoken of as much. It was called the Battle of the Rosebud. It was called the battle when the girl saved her brother. It happened on June 17, 1876, 8 days before the Battle of the Little Bighorn. It was led by Crazy Horse. Lakota and Cheyenne warriors stopped General Crook's column from reinforcing Custer. So this was 8 days before the actual Battle of the Little Bighorn. And like I said, there's a lot of stories, there's a lot of eyewitness account stories and all of that leads up to this. And the Battle of the Little Bighorn, you know, you can imagine back in the 1860s when the United States, the government was trying to get their states going. You can imagine they were going through a civil war back then. And through all that, they tried to expand westward. They want to see what's out to the west of what do we call now United States. So they sent out columns, and then all of a sudden they come in with the railroad. The railroad went through here, the power lines, just things like that were coming through our land, and that's really new to our Lakota people, to our ancestors, Ocheti Shakoi, back in those days. So you can imagine, we as Lakota people, you know, like I said earlier, we fight for what is right, what is ours. And as Lakota people, we're a free people. We like to hunt and live on this land freely. So it was a big change. So there was a lot of tensions coming up to this 1876 battle. That's when we kind of settled with the 1868 Fort Laramie Treaty. And what that treaty did was basically give us where the reservation system started. And one of the things that I've read and heard was that the United States government, they tried to keep us stationary. That's why when they came to this agreement, this 1868 treaty, they gave us a big reservation. And if you ever looked at the 1868 treaty map, the reservation is practically half of South Dakota, including the Black Hills. Those were all ours in that treaty. But around 1874, gold was discovered in the Black Hills, and that's where the tensions really started. And then it led up to the Battle of the Little Bighorn. So there was some warriors out there, some chiefs who really didn't want to live on reservations because they were so used to living freely, hunting. They say Lakota were nomads. We camp one here, and then next month or next week or two, we move to another spot. So the Battle of the Little Bighorn, you know, it's a really important time for our Lakota people and all the other tribes that were involved in that. because we are the only tribal nations to defeat the U.S. Army, and some consider us keepers of the flag, as we captured the U.S. flag during that battle. So how many in here have been to that site? Just a few of you, huh? And some of you are going to be planning to go. Oh, I see a lot of hands over there. It's a really sight to see, not only because of what happened there, but, you know, our people were camped there. And like I said, we as Lakota Chechishakoni, we were doing, there was a Sundance ceremony, a gathering there around that area in Lame Deer, not too far from that. But if you have a chance to go to the Battle of Little Bighorn site, you know, take it all in. Read everything that's there. They have little plaques there that shows what happened in that area, little drawings of it. And my advice is when you get to one of those, just close your eyes and imagine what it was like for our people there. All the chaotic gunfiring, guns going off, arrows flying all around. Just imagine the battle that was there. You know, there's more to the Battle of Little Bighorn. There's also songs that were made from the Battle of Little Bighorn. And you can imagine what the Lakota felt like after that battle, after that day. They were probably scared. So after the battle, they all broke into little camps, and they moved out from that area. There were some chiefs who didn't want to come to reservations, and there were some that agreed to come to the reservations. One of the chiefs, great chiefs, was Sitting Bull. He took his people up north to Canada because he didn't want to be on a reservation. But because of our chiefs and our great leaders, we got to remember who we are today. We are Lakota. Lakota people, that's who we are. We got to be proud of that. We can't be ashamed of it. You know, this morning, listening to the immersion school doing the songs, you know, Lilo Washte, Chante Washte, Maya Pelo. It's good to hear that. You guys are going to carry that up for your children to learn from you guys. So remember, the Battle of the Bighorn is a big event. It's something to be proud of. And like I said earlier, there's a bunch of stories there. There's a bunch of eyewitness accounts. So when you get the chance, look into it a little more. Students, look into it. And be proud of it, that your ancestors were part of that. So with that, you know, I just want to encourage you to be proud of being Lakota. You know, you're part of a great nation. We have a lot of things here that the outside world doesn't. And we have to grasp that and carry that with us. So it was good. And I would thank Alexis and the youth, what is it, the youth, All Nations Youth meeting here, and for having me here. Before I leave, I want to leave a song. I want to sing a song for you guys. It's just a song that I want to give encouragement. It was a family song that was in the Quick Bear Teoshpaya. I'll sing it, and then I'll tell you what the song is about, and something to be proud of. Lechele machakelo, lechele machakelo, hai wayakiyeyo, lechele machakelo, hai Kashila Kawakunzeo Ema Chakelo Hae chele ma chagelo hai oi le chele ma chagelo le chele ma chagelo hai wa ya ke oi le chele ma chagelo hai oi chana pawa kawo kuzeo e ma chagelo hai wa ya ke oi le chele ma chagelo hai oi. Aho wopilalo. What that song means is this is how I was raised. You know, like I said earlier, be proud of who you are. Be proud of our culture. This is how I was raised. Grandfather's teachings, the Tanupa teachings, that's how I was raised. That's basically what that song means. So, Yuha petuashtu yuhapo wopila chichaplo. Okay.
Lila Wopila Tonka to Henry for giving us that brief overview and history on the Battle of Little Bighorn. Did anyone here today find a new piece of information or something that you didn't know before? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. But yeah, I just want to emphasize what Henry said. Something that's not talked about enough and something I didn't know till I was older was we are the only nation, the only group of people to defeat the United States of America. Something to be proud of. We should cheer, war hoop, Lili when we see that and when we hear that. This microphone doesn't like me. But it's something to remember, to be proud of, because the thing about it is what? This way? Oh, okay. Because the U.S. government never took their flag back. So that's our flag. That's the way I've always perceived it is, you know, we're the only nation, along with the Cheyenne and Arapaho, to confront the U.S. Government and the Army and to capture their flag and to hold that flag and not have them take it back. So something to think about, something to hold, something to tell your family members. Maybe spark some conversation with elders in your family or in your community, asking them what they know about the Battle of Little Bighorn. They may have firsthand accounts from our family. You know, there's a lot of descendants from the battle, and you could look into it, see if you're a descendant of one of the chiefs or people that fought there that day. But I encourage everyone to just continue to research it, look it up. But we are gonna go into a game to kind of get everyone up and moving. So, if everyone can follow me to this side of the room. So, this game is called Sweep the Teepee. How many of you guys have heard the game Sweep the Teepee? Kind of, maybe heard about it. Okay, so I'm gonna need 5 volunteers to help with the actions. Okay, I'm gonna take the first 5 that walked up. So with Sweep the Teepee, there's 5 actions that I will call out and that you will have to either do something when I say that number. So when I say 1, that's everyone sweeping their teepee. So how would you sweep your teepee if I said 1? You walk around, you sweep it, you sweep it. Now, if I call out a number 2, what I'm saying is look over your horse. So that would look like you squatting down and then Darian looking over their horse. Don't get on the person. Don't get on your horse. So that's number 2. When I say 3, you're gonna build a fire. So that will look like this. We're the teepee, me and Darian are the teepee, and then you're building the fire. Yes. So that's 3, build your fire. Then there's 4, you're gonna row your boat. So we wanna get into a row of 4. It's like this, then come stand right here. So you have 4 people standing in a line. We're rowing our boat. Does that make sense? Okay, and then 5, does everyone know or see that res car you see around? So now you're gonna get in your res car. So we need 5 people. So we have 3 people in the back seat and then 2 people in the front. So with the point of this game, it's like a musical chairs. So if I say 3, build a fire, and there's 2 of you that don't have a third person to build your fire, you're out. This first round will be a practice round. Second round, we'll take it a little bit more serious. Whoever wins gets bragging rights. And then the third, you get ultimate bragging rights. So, 1, sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee. You guys got a really dirty teepee. Sweep, 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 sweep. Even the adults can play. Even the adults can play. Sweep, 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 sweep. 2, look over your horse. Oh, we have a horse over here. Or a horseman. Okay, so does everyone have a partner? Okay, so everyone's safe. Sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Maybe you guys will get hardwood flooring. All right, now 3, build your fire. Oh, look, looks like you have your fire. All right, okay, sweep your teepee. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Get in a res car. 5, get in your res car. You want to go to B&B. They need one more. They need one more. This res car is too packed down. All right. I'm sorry you're out. It's a practice round. It's a practice round. Okay, sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee. Sweep, sweep, sweep. 4, row your canoe. Row your canoe. 4, 4, 4, 4. Oh, okay. All right. You guys are all safe. Sweep your teepee. Sweep, 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 sweep. 5, get in your res car. Are you guys all even still? What the heck? Okay. Yeah, we're all. Oh, wait. You guys are good. You guys are good. You guys are good. Okay. Sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee. Are people hopping in? 2, look over your horse. Oh, man. Remember, this is the practice round. Okay, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. And build a fire. Okay, sweep your teepee. Get in a res car, 5, 5, 5. I planned that. Sorry, girls. Remember, practice round, practice round. Okay, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. And 2, look over your horse. So we're having some barter wars over here. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. And 3, build a fire. Your guys' fire is too big. Not an SF homecoming fire, okay? All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Sweep, sweep, sweep. And 4, row your canoe. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 5, get in your res car. All right, so each car has like 1 too many people. Our res car is kind of safe, okay? Okay, so we got 1 out. Ivor, this is a practice round. Next round, you're out. Does not feel good saying that to an elementary kid. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 2. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 5, res car. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Build a fire. All right, I like you guys how I made that decision. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 5. Res car. Dang it, all the kiddos. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Build a fire. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 4, res car. It was a trick. I was making sure you guys were listening. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. I think I see some dust in that corner. I see some dust in that corner. I see some dust in that corner. Look over your horse. All right, so those are our winners. Does everyone know how to play it? Do you guys want to do one more? Okay, I invite all of the adults too to come play. Liza, come play. Okay. She said, I'm a business girl. Hold on. All right. I heard the Tocala staff was gonna play too. And Ashlyn.
I'm like 50-50.
And Roger, Mr. Speech. Justice. Okay. I'm waiting for Athena. Are you playing? You gotta look at my elbow. Oh, no. I'm not even. Okay, everyone, sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee. And 3, build a fire. We need one more. We need a fire builder. They need one more fire. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Sweep it, and 4, get in your canoe. They got All right. Sorry. All right. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. I didn't say friendships were going to stand a chance in this game. Sweep, 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 sweep. And 5. Get in your res car. Okay, this one's maxed out. Maxed out. One person. All right. Okay, you're out. Okay, sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee. Oops. Sweep, 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 sweep. And find your horse and look over it. Dang it, no one wanted you this round. Oh, one more. Okay, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Yeah? Sweep your teepee, and build a fire. We need one fire maker. Oh, you guys are out. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Sweep, 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 sweep. And 4, get in your res car. Or not. 4, your canoe. Sorry, guys. 4 in your canoe. I said the wrong thing, 4. You guys are canoe. Oh no, you guys are good too. Everyone's okay. Oh wait. So there's one. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Oh. Okay, swift for your teepee, and build a fire. Oh, you're out. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep, vacuum, dust, and get in your res car to go to All Stop. No. I think this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope. Okay, you guys are good. Sweep your teepee. Look over your horse. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. And 3, build a fire. Oh, all right. Okay, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 5, get in your res car. Okay, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 2, look over your horse. Everyone's safe. Okay, sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee. And row your canoe. 4, row your canoe. All right. Sweep your teepee. And 3, build a fire. Sweep your teepee. 5, res car. Sweep your teepee. 2. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 3. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 2, look over your horse. All right, we got our winners. So did everyone enjoy that game? Do you want to do it one more time? Okay, we'll do it one more time. This one's for ultimate bragging rights that you get to brag for the rest of the week. You guys get to brag about winning for the rest of the week. So, if anyone else wants to come join, this is ultimate bragging rights. You could either say that you beat a bunch of elementary students or you beat a bunch of high school kids. All right, are we ready? Okay, ready? Sweep your teepee. Sweep your teepee. Sweep, 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 sweep. And 5. Res car, res car. Okay, this is a res car, this is a res car. You guys are a res car. You guys are a res car. Okay, sweep your teepee. Sweep, 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 sweep. 2, look over your horse. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 4, row your boat. They need one more. Oh, wait. Here, I was going to say, if you come back, then you guys are 4.
No, you come back. It's 3.
Oh, wait. Okay. You guys have 4, you have 4, you have 4. Okay, everyone's safe. Everyone's safe. Sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 3, build a fire. Oh man, all right. Ivy, you're out. Okay, sweep your teepee. 2, look over your horse. Okay, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 4, row your boat. One more. Oh. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 3, build a fire. Okay, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. 2, look over your horse. Sweep your teepee. Okay, sweep your teepee. 5, res car. Nope. Oh. You guys are out. All right, all right. Okay. Sweep your teepee, sweep, sweep, sweep. And 3, build a fire. Okay, sweep your teepees. Sweep, sweep, sweep. 5, res car. There should be second time. No, took all us about it. Took all us about it. All right, sweep your teepee, sweep your teepee. Build a fire. Okay, guys, remember, it's just a game, but sweep your teepee, and build a fire. Sweep your teepee, and look over your horse. All right, sweep your teepee. Now look over your horse. All right, and we have our winners. Okay, so I hope you guys all enjoyed that game. We just wanted to get you guys up and moving. What time is it? Thank you to the Wakaija for showing up today and praying for us. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the games. And you guys got to be all the adults. Woo! Can I get a Lily over here? Can I get a Keisha? Almost. All right. Okay, we're gonna do a 5 to 10 minute break, so we'll come back at what time are you eating? That's what we're eating at. Noon? Just you guys. So lunch at noon? So actually, we are going to wrap up today's session. Thank you to everyone that showed up today, to our presenters, to our students that took time out of their days to learn about something super important and significant to our history. This was only our first youth planning meeting. We plan to have more. And so if you guys have any suggestions, any advice you would like to give us for the next planning meeting, just come see us up here at the front, and we can talk about how we can make the next meeting even better. Thank you, guys.
In that ceremony, my grandfather was selected to be one of the ones to kill Custer, one of the main warriors. So, knowing those things and bringing it from Canada to here, we understand the sovereignty that we hold. The United States government was defeated in war, and they still haven't come to the table to sign a treaty of surrender. That is something that all of our nations should understand. Coming from Canada, we were designated by the Canadian government as refugees in our territory. I am not a refugee in my territory, and we expressed that to Canada. They have recognized that we are not refugees in Canada. It is our homeland, our territory. Uchimaka, power to God. So, knowing that Canada has apologized, we are sorry we called you refugees in your own land, in your own territory. We have accepted that statement. Knowing that statement, we do not have a treaty with Canada or the United States, Dakota, Canada, that puts us in a legal position. That legal position is nationhood. We are considered a nation in Canada. There's many treaties down here that were also made and broken. Ocheti Shakoni, we talk about. That is all the nations. Dakota, Lakota, Nakota. We are a big nation if you bring all the dialects together, which is how it was pre-contact, Ocheti Shakoni. It was an empire. In the Western world eyes, it was an empire, considering how big Ocheti Shakoni was and the vast territory that they occupied. If we, as Ocheti Shakoni, stood up and collectively got together to have meaningful dialogue, the sovereignty that is recognized by the Canadian government should also be recognized by the U.S. government. For we fought a war that is documented, and that's what we're gathering about. This war was very significant in our history. We won. End of story. And if we are the victors, we are the ones that should be writing history. It's his story, not our story. But our story is being told by these gatherings here today. The sovereignty that we hold is still alive, and it's evident in this room. In Canada, we have started a movement, and that movement is claiming our sovereignty in our territory. There is an Aerosmith map that defines where Dakota used to roam, Ocheti Shakoni. As Dakota from Wippazoka Wakwa, eastern side of the territory of Dakota, we guard the eastern border. I come to the southern end of my border here, and I see the Lakota. The Lakota that guard the southern border. On the way down, we had talks amongst us here. We want to gather the Nakota from the Rocky Mountains in Alberta. We're actively going to have correspondence to see if we would be able to meet with them soon, to be able to talk about sovereignty and what that means to Ocheti Shakoni. The 49th parallel is there as a border of international border. That border runs through our territory and it divides us, which is what governments like to do to nations. It's called divide and conquer. They have divided us for too long. We must sit together, come together collectively to fight both Canadian government and the United States government. This is a fight that may take generations, but now that I'm a leader, I see the children and the families that are affected by colonialism. Colonialism has taken our people. It has taken their mind, and it's taken their spirituality, identity. Knowing that they have stolen so much from us, we need to acknowledge what they have stolen and taken from us, and we must speak up to reclaim it. We are a strong nation, Cheki Shakoi. We are the only ones that defeated the United States government in war. That is us here. We are the ancestors. We shall be proud of that. The youth that we are wanting to bring down to the battle, to show them what we are capable of if we are all together. Not only the Cheki Shakoi, but all nations within the continent of North America and South America. We are all tribal nations here. We are all tribal nations on this continent. Those individuals that came to conquer us are still present. Not all of them are negative towards Native people, but the majority do not like our stance. Our stance shows them that we are still here and it is still our territory. This is our land, and we must protect it for our future generations. Kakoja, Wakaya Japi. There was a young woman here, young girl, doing ceremony. Ceremony is very vital to our nations. And to show our children and to allow them to participate in those ceremonies gives them the courage to carry on our belief system, our nation. I want to encourage everyone in this room to go back to the land, go back to what Kushi used to teach us. Kushi, the matriarch within our societies, Tioshpaiti, she is the head. I don't know of any man that has ever not got discipline from his Kushi. And it seems that the only ones men will listen to is the Kushi. These are inherent protocols to honor the woman, honor the one who builds the nation, the woman. She has the power to bring forth life given to them by Creator. We must go back to who we are, Dakota, Lakota, Lakota, because if we know who we are, the federal governments cannot take our inalienable rights from us. Our land, our culture ties us, our language and our culture ties us to the land. That is what makes us sovereign nations. I wanted to bring this message from our homeland in the north, Waziataha, to encourage everyone here that in the future we will have more talks, and it won't be about the battle of Little Bighorn, but it will be the bigger battle of taking the governments that are occupying and colonizing our lands and telling them who we are and taking back what is truly ours. Truth and Reconciliation Committee, they call it. What are we reconciling? What do you want reconciled? I want you to reconcile everything you took from me. That is the land, the resources, and the airspace. Those are the things that we own as sovereign nations, and we need to understand those things. I would like to just say that much, and thank you for letting me speak. Oh, God bless.
Home with that baby. Uchi makahisto ahine de petikide. And so what's not a reason a bit choose up there, walk it out. Get out of that, Kohita up. Taku then you want to go. Anna, not you want to go. Then Anna, we trust the kid. We show you how to go back at it. The hunter, a seventh generation out there. Seventh generation to hunt the Nakota kid. The kid in Egypt that said, happen. And Anna, Okan Chumpe, Kushi Chumpe, Tiata, Ujimaka hated that. And they told us all these stories of how we ended up in Canada. It wasn't because we were refugees. They're not that he mentioned that the Canadian government called us refugees. We're not refugees of our own land. Entonces, Washington, ahí Taku washi ahibe oyate ke kakishi chape. Maza skaka wakan yehe wakanka. Ukishi donkutape. Donkutapera chanuputi he ohondape. Chanupugeo kitape. Denakade ocheti shakomi odoma ahiape. Santa Franki Wokira. Nice to hear that song again. When I can, I'll push them. And now, they're not keep talking. These are ours. No, don't need to let the basket. Don't need to keep this. You see, she took that up. A hundred and a Kunshi or guns from there, took that attack of Owabi Sackers. Skan, the Kotik there. Yopia. Exactly this thing. Exactly this thing. Yopia Monica. Kahan Shinto Ahin and talk to us in Nazi. Kahan Ahana, we trust it to happen. 7 generations I get the 14 Nazi that said out there. Now, when I Edo Heaper, we're seeing these things. The commemoration, that's that's going to open some doors for us. Ahana, Dona, 150 years behind Canada, after Uchima, Kahita Kupa. Ahana, Kahita behind. Don't only together, Kawita, that's okay. We never got together like this before. There's something, there's a reason. They're bringing us together here. They're trying to tell us something. And I have forgotten it. Our grandkids, our generations, Ubana. And you watched up there. No, that's okay. They brought us here. It wasn't our own individual minds that brought us here. It's for us to talk about this and unify. As one. About a year and a half ago, I was told this commemoration was going to happen. Kuda Arba looking for it, don't look at it. Neither you're up in Canada. The only reason why they separated is that medicine line that they put across. But then don't put the Victoria piece, we don't recognize that. And after had some, we know we're relatives. Then I watch the blood is still there. Lakota people. So that's how I got involved and I informed my leadership. Then I contact from their own communities. I'm just an informer. I'm just the one that carrying this message on to our people from back home. And I got fortunate enough to talk to Cordelia and Lewis. You know, these gentlemen are people that are organizing this event. Thank you. Carry on. Keep going what you're doing, and we're going to be here. We're going to be involved too. We want to be part of this. That's just so. We're going to go home. We're going to take all the information we hear from this conference. We're going to get together up north too. A lot of our people are Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. But what the interesting part is, the Ukichas said after the battle was over, the ancestors, Okan, Pushis, Hana, they said, take our culture, take our tradition, preserve it. Take this medicine, the teaching, these ceremonies. Take them as far north as you can away from the U.S. government, because you know the U.S. government is going to try to take that away from us. So that's how we ended up in Canada. It wasn't because of refugees or nothing. The ancestors, Okan Kushi, are the ones that told us to go up north. So that's how come we're in Canada now. But all this is part of our territory, the way they told us and taught us. So this is what we want to carry on, and this 150th commemoration is going to be something. I know it's going to create a lot of unity, which was lacking over the years. That's the understanding that I'm getting. We know each other from the powwow circles and all that. My leaders here, my Kuras, Tamshis, they're all powwow people. And over the years, they got to meet people from down south here. And they have great ties with these people. But there was also always something missing. Always something missing. And that was that unity. Unity. Kawita, Wazia, as one. Ukilishita, Dana, Uchoy, Dana Hanata, we didn't invent this. Folk know there's a reason why our grandfather said 7th generation out there. We're in that 7th generation now. God can hope because something's going to happen. But we don't know what's going to happen. But one thing that we have to look at is to unify. Not for ourselves, but for our future generations that are going to be coming. And you watch that. We all